Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Tania from Art y Son. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we're going to be making these Puerto Rico Flag coasters that a lot of people ask me for in social media. These actually do very well in my vendor shows and on my online shop. I normally go ahead and sell them in a set of 5. I have had some people ask me for an individual color flag because they're partial to that flag, but let's just go ahead and show you the basic process of how to make these. Okay guys, so to sort of go over the materials that we'll be needing for this project, some of this stuff I picked up at the dollar store, but other things I already had in my collection. We are going to be using the glue gun, or I get my glue sticks sometimes from the dollar store when I'm in a bind, so I go ahead and pick up the pack of glue sticks. Today I have the popsicle sticks also from the dollar store. I do like to order them from Amazon in bulk, but again, I was kind of in a bind. I was short on them and I kind of needed some for today. And by the way, guys, don't mind my nails. I have had a rough weekend as far as the crafting goes, so I need to get them done. But anyway, so we need the popsicle sticks. I am also using for this project the Mod Podge, where is it? Mod Podge, the dishwasher safe gloss, and I wanted to use this one because since these are to be made as coasters, things happen, you know, if you have a spill. I personally wouldn't run the coasters through the washer machine, but I want them to at least be somewhat water resistant or waterproof, whatever you may want to call it. So I will be using that for each coaster. At least for my preference, you can choose to do what you like, but for this specific one, I will be using 12 for the base, which is, well, for the actual part right here. So 12 popsicle sticks of the regular kind. 1, 2, oh, I don't like that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then for the borders, 2, and here 3, so that's 5. All right, and that is one coaster. So let me put this to the side. Alright, so trying to get this done as quickly as possible. I do have a frame here. Don't mind my paint stains, but I do have a frame here that I utilize to kind of try to keep them together. This. And the good thing about the hot glue is the fact that it dries so quickly, and then I get to paint it, and I actually paint the glue, so and the fact that it dries clear, it kind of camouflages. It's just more of trying to make sure that it doesn't bulk up too much. So, and then I put one in the center. To make it sturdier. And this one I'm gonna press down. And I'm gonna go here. I want them to be as even as possible. All right. Okay, so after the stripes, the white stripes have dried, you can go ahead and reverse the tape and actually make the triangle and then paint the blue according to which flag you are painting, whether it's the dark blue or the light blue. The only one that would actually kind of sort of stay the same, and I'll show you in a bit, is the black one, because technically the triangle itself is going to stay black, and the only thing that goes white is the stripe. So we'll go ahead and show you that one as well as soon as this one dries. And then this one is also, the first flag is different. Once the first white stripe dries, I'm gonna reverse the tapes and put it the other way so that it will come out like this. And then you can go ahead and just tape off one side, and I'll show you that in a bit as well to do the blue side. So now that this side is dry with the blue one, I'm gonna go ahead and get this star stencil. Sometimes I just do it by hand, but I'm gonna do this one. Let's see if I find so the size that I want is actually not a solid one. Like, the solid one happens to be too small, and I think this one, or I think I'll do this one. Yep, I think I'll do this one. So remember that the star, a lot of people sometimes make the mistake and put it this way. You're actually gonna face it this way, and the star is gonna go with one point up this way. And I'm gonna use this star knowing that I'm gonna have to fill it in. So it's more about the outline of it. You can do the stars however you please. If you feel like you actually are good at hand painting them, more power to you. And this brush has a hair up here. I don't feel, sometimes I feel okay and feel confident about doing the star by hand, but one of the things that I wanted to mention is that while you're painting this, you have to actually go back frequently and touch up as it dries, because the paint is gonna go through the cracks of um, the popsicle sticks. All right, so this star is actually not looking how I want it to look, so I'm gonna have to fix it. So yeah, if you can see there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of red coming in through that crack. So I'm gonna have to go back and paint a little more of the blue. And as you retouch it, you kind of fix it, because sometimes the paint leaks. But once you go ahead and you do this part, you go ahead and let it dry, take the tape off, and then you start retouching to make sure that you didn't leave any spots. All right, guys, so you have seen the coasters done from beginning to end. Of course, I fast forwarded through the whole thing. Oh, at least most of it. But the whole process actually take a few days, from making the actual popsicle coasters, which I actually make them in large batches, to then having to base paint everything, taping, then finishing detailing. Then of course the paint goes like this. Let me show you this. You see it bleeds, so you want to make sure you fix those kind of errors and mistakes. And then finally getting ready to Mod Podge. But I did want to kind of talk a little further as far as the Mod Podge goes. So I probably mentioned it already. This is the Dishwasher Mod Podge. Although it say that, I would not put these coasters through the dishwashing cycle. Not that I don't believe in them, but for the simple fact that they're popsicle sticks and all the agitation and all that stuff is just gonna take the popsicles apart. It's just not. What I would always tell my clients is you can go ahead with a damp cloth and wipe them down. No dishwashing. But also a couple of steps to take while you're doing this. The first thing is you want to make sure that the paint on the coasters is completely dry. I would say at least 24 hours in order for the paint to cure. Otherwise, the paint is going to bleed. I'll give you an example of another one here. I did not wait because I was actually impatient. Let me see if you can see that. So you can see the tinge of red from the paint, and so I have to actually go over it again. So you might as well just give yourself 24 hours after you finish painting them for the paint to dry before you apply the Mod Podge. Another thing I would say is use a regular brush, not a sponge brush. Otherwise it will get kind of like sudsy or kind of like a soapy type thing, and then it becomes like opaque. It's not like translucent. It's just weird, milky consistency. So I use a regular brush. I would say don't use a brush that you are partial of, because once you use the Mod Podge, if you have not used it before, that brush is absolutely no good. And then the last tip I would say with it, make sure you're applying thin layers. Otherwise it will cake up and you will see streaks, and you will also see it looks like glue towards the end. So just make sure you're applying thin layers, and that you are kind of like, if you see during the creases, make sure that you take off any excess Mod Podge, allow that to dry, and then reapply any other layers so that you can make sure that it's well covered. So that was that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know by giving a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Bye.